God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 46 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey, and to your journey is not over. Neither to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. Before I travel down this part of my journey, I do want to say, everything, no matter how hurtful and how painful it all was, everything did and still continues to happen for a reason, a purpose. No matter how hard the journey, God works it out for the good of us that believe in Him and that love Him and have faith in Him. Before I dig deep and tell you truly how hard the devil still to this day has tried to stop me, block me, shut me up, discredit me, humiliate me even, come at me every way possible to destroy me and my life, I will also tell you, God tells us to forgive our trespassers, for they know not what they do. So I have nothing but forgiveness in my heart for each and every one that the devil used. This is not a journey of revenge on those that chose to participate and to do the devil's work. Let's never forget, it's a choice. It's called free will. God gives that to us to allow us to show Him who we truly are underneath all of the mask of illusions. Most people live in a mirage, a fakeness. Fake smiles, fake concern, fake words. What people think that they hide from the world will always be seen by God. God knows our hearts and our intentions behind every action, every word ever spoken out of our mouths. So through this horrible part of my journey, by the way, my whole journey has been a rough one from breath one. But I still give thanks to God for never leaving me, never forsaking me, never giving up on me, and for loving me unconditionally through every moment of my life. I essentially had no parents. So, like Psalms 27, verse 10 teaches us, though my mother and father forsake me, the Lord will receive me. With God, I can and you can get through anything the devil throws at us. With God, all things are possible. That's Matthew 19, verse 26. I also understand now that no matter what I went through in my life, I did it privately. No one knew. As I said, Season 1, Episode 1 and 2, me seeming unfazed, unbothered, like I could walk through hell with such ease, to the outside world. Of course, no one seeing the breakdowns, the complete heart-wrenching meltdowns, putting ice packs on my swollen eyes hours before work daily so nobody would know. The holding tears back in my head telling myself, please don't cry. Hold it until you get home, all day long. I dealt with pain and trauma alone. I processed it alone. I don't throw the victim card for sympathy nor attention. Never have been built that way. Never wanting to be perceived as a victim. Always a survivor, no matter what. So as I stated, me being this way has brought about others' envy that I handle myself the way I do. Never let anyone see me sweat kind of thing. And it's also brought about hate towards me because my thoughts are that both the haters and the envious people want to see me hurt, broken, in despair. They want to see the victim in me, and I don't give others what they want from me. It irritates their souls. Some people have came into my life with the sole purpose to break me down, humble me, knock me down a few notches, without ever knowing my life has been hell. I don't need broken down or humbled. Life has done that for me. Again, I got to find humor in it all now that I concept and understand it. Seriously, who in their right mind has that kind of self-hatred within themselves to want to see another human being suffer? Who would want to see it, let alone add to it? Because I am confident and I'm comfortable in who I am. I've never wanted to be anyone else, have what others have or want. I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. I'm comfortable in my own skin. Well, that very thing triggers people completely. But it only triggers the ones that aren't comfortable in their own skin, the ones that wear masks or live their life on illusions and aren't comfortable in who they truly are. I myself give so much of myself to others. I have a big personality with lots of energy. I'm very empathic. I'm compassionate, and I have a love of people, all people like no other. So I reserve my pain and my tears and my healing, the accepting, understanding, healing and releasing whatever hurt or trauma as it comes alone. That's for me and me only. I don't display my pain. It's not for the world to see. It's between me and God. So when my husband got diagnosed with bladder cancer, this would be the exception to my rule of displaying my hurt, my pain, my fears publicly. Sadly, without ever knowing, always living in my own little world, not worried about others' lives. I have always hated seeing others in any pain at all, even strangers. So, not realizing this about others, always see past and excusing others' behaviors. Actually, I now realize I rewarded bad behaviors as a way to overlook, again, excuse, see past others' true feelings for me, win over people, people please, walk on eggshells so not to offend others. That was the people pleaser in me, always. So again, not ever realizing that certain people, unhealed, low vibrational people, not materialistic neither, low vibration within their souls. They were waiting for the day I would be humbled, knocked down a few notches. My world would shatter. And they were also waiting to see my downfall publicly, almost like 11 years earlier when I lost everything and I hit rock bottom. Those exact same people, with new ones recruited, of course, most I'd never even met. Others that crawled out of their dark holes to watch and enjoy, and even felt the need to add to my despair, my pain, my grief, and enjoyed it. Sadly, I can't wrap my head around what kind of person would get enjoyment out of others' pain, grief, and feel the need to add swords to inflict more. I'm not built like that. I remove swords, I clean the wound, and I help heal whoever I can. I uplift. I don't pray for and enjoy others' downfalls, others' pain. Being empathic, I actually can feel others' pain, so I've always tried to be the light when anyone was in the dark, even in my deepest, darkest times. So, yes, his diagnosis was public. It was public pain, and in a small town, it didn't take long for word to travel. And yes, I'm so very grateful to the ones that loved us, supported us, and tried to help ease the pain. And also to the ones that took the moment in time to seek whatever twisted revenge that was make believe and created in their own minds for whatever reason. I must have really triggered a lot of people in my life by just being me, myself, and I, because the truth always reveals itself. And most generally, when one is at their lowest and desperately needing what I'd always given out to others, I needed love, compassion, kindness, understanding, hope, and strength to get me through the hardest part of my journey thus far. Luke 8, verse 17 teaches us that there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out in the open. Sadly, masks lift, and it confirms no mask can be worn forever. I do not own the rights to the things that I chose to share today. Be a Mary. Stay humble and open to whatever life throws your way. You don't need to be perfect for God to use you, just willing and obedient. Be a Hannah. Keep the faith, girl. Prayer is powerful, and it's always worth it. Keep talking to God. He listens. Be a Esther. Stand up for what's right, even if it's scary. Your voice matters, and sometimes you got to be brave, even if it feels like you're the only one. God will give you the strength you need. Be a Ruth. Faithfulness is key, especially when life gets tough. Be faithful in every decision. Trust God in every moment. And soon you will realize what He's doing behind the scenes. There isn't a single woman in the Bible who was used by God in a mighty way that had an easy road. Ruth didn't have it easy. Esther didn't have it easy. Mary didn't have it easy. Hannah didn't have it easy. The list goes on. Stop falling for that feel-good gospel and recognize that God's daughters don't have it easy. Walking with God doesn't always come easy, but it's always worth it. Behind every strong woman, there is God. You can't fake peace. You can fake a smile. You can fake being okay. But your soul knows the truth. Real peace doesn't come from control. It comes from surrender. When you let go and you trust God, you find what the world can't give. That's Psalms 29, verse 11. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It just means the damage no longer controls your life. You can't expect others to give you what they don't have. Not loyalty from someone who betrays themselves. Not honesty from someone who lives in denial. Not peace from someone at war within their own mind. Most people aren't malicious. They're just broken in ways you can't see. Maturity is realizing and understanding that their actions aren't always about you. They're about their own wounds and insecurities. So stop expecting more from others than they've given themselves. She has been broken. She has been defeated. She has felt pain that most couldn't handle. But yet, she never runs. She never hides. And she always finds a way to get back up. She's unbreakable. She's a warrior. She is you. I have learned to honor what truly matters. Peace over approval. Clarity over chaos. Solitude over shallow company. Staying away from drama is not withdrawal. It's wisdom. There is strength in filtering what enters your life and power in protecting your inner world. Choosing myself wasn't an escape. It was a return. And in that return, I found a peace that feels like home. Before I sign off today, I want to say continued prayers for Texas. Please let's all pray for them. This concludes my podcast for today. Please join me next Tuesday. Listen in, and always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows.